Awesome. So welcome everybody to today's video. I have Dr. Sue Williams with me today, and Dr. Sue specializes in sports hypnosis and touches base on equestrian. So before we jump into that one too much, how did you get started? Like, what gave you the idea to go, you know what, I'm going to do this sort of hypnosis? Tell us more.
Yeah, hi Trish. Thanks for having me today. Yeah, it goes back a few years now. The first thing I got into was mindfulness,
Mm,
and I found that so helpful. I actually had that as part of my job in education,
yeah.
and we were introduced to this mindfulness, and I went on to become a practitioner. And from that, it just sort of organically led into the hypnosis because
Yes.
you can do so much more with the hypnosis combined
Yes.
with the mindfulness and the NLP and all these things just seem to segue so well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got into the hypnosis and I really did the courses specifically because I am an equestrian and I compete. And you go to competitions and you see, and it's mainly women. I like 95% women.
Mm.
Um, and you see them, they are so stressed. They go up to the secretary's desk when they arrive, and some of them are just shaking. Some of them are
Mm.
vomiting behind their cars because they are so stressed out. And I think, aren't you doing this for pleasure?
Yeah, uh, I mean, I play pool and I shot pool on the weekend, but it was my very first competition. And when I focused the next day, I was like right up there and I was pretty stoked. But yeah, poor things, aren't they doing it for fun?
Yeah, well, that's what you have to ask
And
yourself.
then
And of course,
wouldn't their horse pick up on that as
I
well?
was just going to say that horses are so sensitive. They
Yeah, I've
will
heard
pick up
that.
on the rider's anxiety.
Yeah, and
So,
apparently they really connect with their riders. Like,
yeah, yeah. So instead of setting themselves up for success, they're setting themselves up for failure. And so often they do fail because they'll get in, if they're doing dressage, they'll get in there and they'll forget the test. And
mm,
then that's even worse.
yeah, because it's the mind, the body follows the mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the
So
mind creates the energy. Yeah.
So I specifically did the hypnosis training way back when,
Hmm.
so I could help these women because I know
Yes.
so many of them. So
Yeah.
I thought, well, I will do that. And then it was really successful. And I thought, well, why not expand the practice to all athletes?
Yeah.
Because I have family members who are in all sorts of different sports.
Hmm.
So help them and then just naturally progress to helping the population in general for
And
any
so
sport, any athlete, any team.
I'm making the assumption here that this can be from somebody that's curious about sport to a veteran of sport.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
good
So
because
I can help the ones who aren't so confident with their anxiety. You may have fear in sports like surfing or downhill skiing, anything like
yeah,
that, you're putting your
downward
body
skiing
on the line.
definitely.
A bit different to
Tobogganing.
the equestrian where you've got that extra partner being a horse. But
Yeah.
for your other sports where there is that danger element, yeah, we can work on the fear and the anxiety.
Hmm.
But also for other sports like your tennis, basketball, golf, you can work on the visualization and just getting that performance to the
Mm.
optimum level.
And
Get,
also, it's like spotlight syndrome because I know
mm,
when I get into the finals, just in my funsy pool comp league, when you get into the finals and everybody shows up to watch you and this other person play, and I'm like, stop looking at me. Like,
that's right. Yeah,
you feel the eyes just pushing
absolutely.
you down. It's like,
Oh, yeah. And the individual sports, like your surfing, like your diving, anything like that, where you're definitely in the
I watch.
spotlight for that amount of time. You don't want to be thinking about what's happening anywhere except here and
And
whatever equipment you're using.
yeah, and from the personal perspective is what I call the failure ooh. And that's where you bugger it up and everyone goes, ooh.
That's
And you just It's like somebody takes your soul, rips it out, and just kicks it across the floor, going,
Yeah.
"What? You've never made a mistake? Like, I didn't intentionally do that. Like, you
And
know."
yeah, like the golf tournament, and you're on the last hole, and it's that final putt that you're going
Yeah,
for, and
yeah.
you've got everyone looking at you. Yeah.
I love what you've got written on your website as well. It's my job to show you, it's not my job to show you my superpowers. It's my job to show you yours.
That's it. Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
did that come from? Because that's amazing.
Yeah. I read that somewhere, and I thought, well, that's perfect for hypnotherapy
Yes, so it's not
because
my job.
as a therapist, you're guiding the person
Mm,
who needs the help.
mhm,
It's not your job to step in and say, well, this is the way you should be doing it.
mhm,
You find out from them what they want, and then
mm.
you guide them so that they have the optimum performance in whatever their sport is. So it's
Yes.
their superpower, nothing to do with me.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
if you could give anybody watching this video one piece of advice, what would you say to them?
I would say if you've been thinking about hypnosis or a bit reticent because you only know stage hypnosis
Yes.
and you think, oh my God, what am I putting myself in for? Contact me if you're an athlete or a sports person because we can talk it through. I always talk through things first before we organise sessions. Talk to me, find out what it really is, not the chicken clucking and the dog whooping and all the rest of it.
Why would you bother?
Oh, honestly. So it's a totally other um, science, really, because you're working with your brain, you're working with the subconscious, getting
Yeah.
rid of what no longer serves you.
Mm,
And by making that vacuum, that space, you fill it up with all the positives. And that's what you take with you after the session
love it. Love
that's
it.
going to keep benefiting you.
Yeah.
And I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. So I'm not going to try and force my views onto you.
Mhm.
Even if I tried, it wouldn't work.
Wouldn't work.
And very, very unethical. But it wouldn't work because everyone has their own moral code, their own ethics, and they won't go outside that regardless. These movies that show you
Oh,
people
that's the whole point
better.
of movies, though, isn't it? It's
Oh,
to
it is.
entertain. It's not real. It's just
No,
to
no.
entertain.
People have to realise that. So that's one of the things that I would like them to take from seeing this is, yeah, it's nothing like the movies or the stage hypnotists.
No.
It's a proper clinical setting where I help my clients
Mhm.
um, do what they want to do, get rid of their old bad habits, install the new ones, and then they can move on and their sporting life is going to be so much more successful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So where
Mm.
can people find you?
They can contact me through the website,
Mhm.
sporthypnotherapy.com.
Easy done.
And yeah, and the email is just Sue at sporthypnotherapy.com. It's pretty simple. But yeah, I mean, the contact form is on the website and there's a
Fantastic.
whole lot of information on there
Yeah,
that
honestly,
people can
like
go.
go there. I'll put the link in the description. And
Oh,
remember, it's not my job to show you my superpowers. It's my job to show you yours.
absolutely. And all you
Love
super
it.
athletes out there and teens as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it doesn't just have to be athletes, as in, because people get this kind of wrong as well, is athletes is like, oh, running around and,
Mm.
all this sort of stuff. It doesn't matter if you play poker. That's still an
Absolutely.
athlete, you know?
Poker, chess, darts,
Yeah,
pool,
yeah, pool
yeah,
comp.
all
Like,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
as much as we're not getting all hot and sweaty, or not in the outside anyway, you know, we're still athletes. We really, really are. So please, everybody out there, contact Sue. She's absolutely phenomenal, working with sports and especially loves working with equestrian and the horses as well. So
Oh,
thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will
yeah.
catch you in the next video. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.